What is the swap? In this video, we'll take a closer look at the swap and what it means. We'll then look at central bank interest rates, and finally we'll take a look at some swap formulas. So what does swap mean? The swap is basically a way to either get paid or pay just for holding on to a position. What happens is at 5 p.m. EST, all the accounts are closed and reopened instantaneously. Central banks lend money to other banks at a certain annual interest rate. This interest rate is also known as the discount rate. Now, each country has a different discount rate, and as traders, we're going to be trading a range of different countries' currencies. So it's important to know how this works. The swap will normally appear in a separate column on your account history on your trading platform, and every once in a while, you'll find that you've either earned a few extra bucks or you've had a few bucks deducted from your account. This is due to the swap. Now, because the discount rate or the central bank annual interest rate differs between the different currencies, you will pay different prices depending on the pairs that you are currently trading. Let's take a look at some of the current central bank interest rates. So let's just start with the first example. What you can see here is that the Australian dollar, the AUD, has a central bank interest rate of 4.25%. What this means is that the Australian Central Bank lends money to its other smaller banks at an interest rate of 4.25%. Just looking further down the list, if you look at the US dollar or the USD, you'll notice that the central bank offers its smaller banks a 0.25% interest rate. Now, as Forex traders, we are trading these different countries' currencies, and as a result, we will be part of the swap. So if you are buying currencies with high interest rates, you will get paid. And when you are selling currencies with high interest rates, you will be paying. So let's take a look at an example. The best one would be the Australian dollar, US dollar. So in the Australian dollar, US dollar currency pair, the Aussie dollar is the base. So it's going to appear first in that pair. The country's interest rate is 4.25%. And we know that the Australian dollar interest rate is 4.25%. The US dollar, as we know, has an interest rate of 0.25%. So, if you are buying the Australian dollar, US dollar, that means you are buying the Australian dollar and at the same time selling the US dollar. So, 4.25% is what you are going to earn because you are buying, and 0.25% is going to be what you are paying because you're selling the US dollar. That gives you a total of 4%. What this means is if you do buy the Aussie dollar, US dollar, you're going to end up earning for holding onto that position, and you'll be earning 4%. On the other hand, if you were selling the Aussie dollar, US dollar currency pair, you would have to pay 4.25%, but then you would get paid 0.25%. At the end of it, you would pay a total of 4%. So let's take a look at a couple of formulas that are used for calculating the swap. So this is how the swap for buy orders are calculated. Contract size times base currency interest rate minus quote currency interest rate plus the broker's markup divided by 100 times 365. The formula for calculating swap for sell orders is the contract size times the quote currency interest rate minus the base currency interest rate plus the broker's markup divided by 100 times 365 days per year. So let's take a look at one more example. So here we can see an example for the Australian dollar, US dollar for a full lot size of $100,000. So what this formula allows us to do is determine how much we would earn if we were buying the Australian dollar, US dollar. So we start off with the contract size of $100,000 times 4.25 minus 0.25. And we add on 0.15 for the broker, divide that by 100, and divide it by 365. And at the end of all the math, you can see we've got it step by step. We end up with the swap, and this will give us 11.37 per day. Now, on the other hand, if you were selling the Australian dollar, US dollar, and if you run the numbers through the formula, you will see that you would end up paying 10.54 units of the base currency at the end of every day when the swap transaction takes place. Now, these transactions are done automatically on your platform, and you'll find that it normally occurs at 5 p.m. EST when all the accounts are closed and instantaneously reopened. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.